So the other show I kind of wanted to talk about, which is, I mean, it's Vegas on CBS, and I have very mixed feelings about it because I really, really love the cast, and I was really bored by that pilot. Like, I put it in thinking I'd actually really, really enjoy it, and then I'm like, has it only been an hour? I'm like, has it only been 20 minutes? It feels like it's been 3 hours, and it just did not draw me in the way I wanted it to. And I like Jason O'Mara, I like Dennis Quaid. I think they're both great actors, and Carrie-Anne Moss, which is, I'm like Trinity, super nerd, guys.
Well, she's not playing a character like Trinity, so
sad. That would have been amazing if she was. It's a period piece. That would have been super awkward if she was, guys.
But that's the thing. I mean, it lends itself to a much slower pace, a much more, like laid back sign of their times.
Right.
Which we're just not used to on network television, especially CBS. And I will say that kind of how we talked about Last Resort, we liked it, but
yeah,
I kind of feel this way about Vegas. Like, I like the concept too, but I just didn't feel the execution drew me in either, and I didn't feel like anybody popped in a dynamic way that, especially these actors, that you expect them to, but it's also, I think it is also hard when you have so many dynamic actors to not steal focus from each other.
Right.
They felt very muted in general, and I don't know if that was intentional or if that was because, it's not a flashy show. As much as it's Vegas, it's not Vegas now.
Right.
It's not strip lights and showgirls, and it's the old Vegas where everything's still desert.
Right.
And I feel like they have to build up to the flashiness because they're just starting to build the town, and they're just starting to show the corruption that really carried all that. And I'm thinking maybe it'll get there, but how fast will it get there?
To a show with Josh Duhamel and
James
Caan.
No. Could you imagine if that was the master plan?
That was the finale.
That it's just like
it's
going,
to Las Vegas.
jump into the future, and they pop in for like the last episode or
with
something.
old age makeup. CBS, you have to pay us a little bit.
I don't think anybody's gonna take this idea. I think it's safe. It's some weird crossover fan fiction. No one's gonna take it.
I'm not gonna write that fan fiction. But no, I mean the thing is that I don't actually mind slow pilots. Like, for instance, like the Killing pilot.
Oh, see, I didn't think that was slow. But this is...
I mean, I felt like that was it was more of a quiet pilot. Maybe it's a better way of putting it. It was a quiet pilot that had some really great moments. Like the end of that Killing pilot, when, when they realize that their daughter is dead.
Spoiler alert!
I know, right? The title didn't do anything about that.
You didn't know who was the kill.
Someone's daughter is... If a girl is dead, someone's daughter is dead. It doesn't mean that the parents are alive, but someone's...
I know, I'm just saying, whatever.
We're not going to get into roasting.
I'm kidding, first of all, because it's already aired.
Yes, a year and a half ago. But like there are a lot of times, even in the quieter, slower pilots, there are moments that stand out to you. There are moments that make you want to, if it's good quality, there are moments that make you want more. And I just felt like there was nothing in this for me. Like I felt like I was very much watching it, like almost like behind a pane of glass where I was seeing it, but there was nothing that was like radiating to me in terms of caring. Like, okay, yes, these are good actors. Yes, this is a period piece. Yes, this is not terribly written. Yes, this is not. I mean, I don't know.
And I will say all the things you are listing are feathers in the show's cap compared to some of the other shows.
Right. There are some truly atrocious pilots that we're not even going to get into right now because we will go on for 4 or 5 hours about how just massively bad. You don't want to hear that. There could be some... It's just...
I think they do want to hear that. And if you do, you should tell us. Because we can totally be snarky and mean when we want to be.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a perfect angel.
Anyway.
I'm pretty sure lightning's going to strike me in a minute now.
It's fine. It's fine.
But I agree, that's the thing. It's like there are good elements to the show, but I don't care. And that's not the way you should feel if the show is done well. Or if the show has good things going for it, especially in a season when there are so many terrible pilots.
Right.
All of these things should make me excited for the show and say, okay, well, let me see where it's going in episode 2. Whereas I'm like, I could not tell you one character's name. I know it was based off...
Lamb.
I know it's based off a real guy.
Actual guy.
I know Lamb. I know that's all I knew, but I didn't remember the first name.
Gotcha.
So, but I know it was based off that. But like, I could not tell. I could tell you like little pieces of it, but nothing stuck enough. I was basically like just a shiny floor that just, everything just slid off.
Right. I mean,
better metaphor.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I just also, for me, it's another way for it. To me, it's the only way CBS will think outside their procedural crime drama box, but still do their crime drama. Because when you really strip the show down, when you strip Vegas down, it's still going to be crime week to week, a case of the week to week, because now, Lamb is kind of reluctantly, maybe not even technically officially in charge.
Right.
And there is the overall element of, Michael Chiklis' character being the mob of the times that, that will keep coming up episode to episode. So it's not your straight procedural in terms of it's not just case of the week, but at the same time, it's still what CBS does, just in fancy new packaging of the period drama.
Jersey too. And then technically you can argue they're doing with Elementary as well, but it's just like, I feel like they're trying
I just mean because the period drama. I feel like that's the hook to make it
it's still
new
CBS.
and unique and interesting. And look, it is based on a true story, and I'm not saying that people who are interested in history won't get something out of this. But for me personally, I was disappointed simply by the concept, simply by the fact that it's the same old shtick from the network again. And why, I get it. If you have a formula that's working, why rock the boat? But I personally like it when there are risks taken, because with programming or just in general, I mean, sometimes you have to give the audience something they don't realize they wanted, and then, oh my God, they realize how much they love it, and they're smartened by it in an odd way. Not every show, don't get me wrong, but I prefer that. Like, I would rather see someone greenlight a show that's a little risky and a little, we don't know how it'll stick, and then maybe it doesn't stick, but we tried, rather than let's just dumb everything down and give you the same stuff, and you don't even have to pay attention. It almost, all the things you said you don't remember, it doesn't matter that you don't remember that.
Right, because if you're going to come in every other week or once a month or once, twice a year.
Because it's not going to, it's a setup, and it's not necessarily going to matter for the next episode. Obviously, who the characters are matter, but you'll meet them again in the second episode. It's not something major didn't really happen in the pilot that if you missed it, oh my God.
Right.
Now you've missed the whole show.
Right.
So I don't know. I it's hard for me to judge it because I really didn't have, while I thought it would be the show that I enjoyed the most out of CBS's new lineup, even on paper, it was the same thing that they always do. So it's kind of like, all right, it's just not for me. Like, most of their stuff is not for me. It's not my demographic.
Whatever, I still like Unforgettable.
But it's
I know.
not, I'm not saying it's a bad show, and I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it when I do watch it.
We don't think it's Unforgettable now.
But it's the same thing.
No, it's their own.
It fits their brand perfectly, and they know their brand, and that's the one thing that I will say is they know their brand better than anybody.
Right. So on that note, if you want to yell at us for spoiling the end of Vegas to you,
I didn't spoil the end of Vegas.
What's coming Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah, that. I will quit this business if that happens. Mark my words. Sure, yes. But I will say this: if you would like to hear the shows that we absolutely wanted to tear apart, it is a little early in the process to do that, since technically these are snap judgments and things are subject to change. But absolutely, right before they air, we are happy to do that.
Happy premiere day.
I won't speak to her for her, but I am happy to do that. So you can tell us, Danielle at Danielle TBD,
Marisa at Marisa Rothman.
And stay tuned because we're going to be dissecting the comedy pilots for fall 2012.